What I'm hearing is that the way to show that you're poor is if you don't use your Birkin. If you feel like you don't deserve to have a nice bag, I'm like, honestly, you do. Like, do not settle for less than the best, guys. You shouldn't feel like you need to trash your Birkin or buy a trash Birkin to look old money or to look like you're rich, because that is just that doesn't make any sense, for one thing. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you love handbag videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, I just wanted to talk about a few things today in regards to this trend of if you know bags, looking old money, getting rid of logos, and the judgment we're placing on people for choosing certain bags and that sort of thing. So I'm noticing a lot of people say that, the trend is now to have bags that are very minimal, very quiet, and it kind of shows that you are more stylish or of a certain class. Obviously that sounds ridiculous because you can't help it if you're old money or not. Why would you try and be old money if you're not? And if you want to wear quiet luxury, I think that is more of a style choice. It doesn't necessarily show if you're rich or poor, because I'm getting this like feeling that people are judging people who are buying like logo bags. Like, I had a comment the other day saying a subscriber said they were scared to buy Louis Vuitton now because they heard that Louis Vuitton is seen as entry level and that buying a Louis Vuitton bag is a waste of money because by buying a Louis Vuitton bag you are now looking like a poor person. I'm like, well, that is ridiculous for one thing, but the perception that we've already all of a sudden have with these brands of like, the big logo is no longer cool because it looks like, very new money, which is tacky. It's just a very judgmental way to look at people and fashion, honestly. Something that influenced me to make this video today was a short that I noticed on my feed, and it's by a YouTuber called Bag is Talk, and it was just a reel about how Jane Birkin used to wear her Birkin. And Jane Birkin, when you think of her, you think of a style icon. Like, obviously she's also rich, and well, she became rich, but I don't know if she came from money, to be honest. She probably didn't, but she was very carefree with her Birkin. But to be honest, guys, she doesn't wear a Birkin anymore, I'm pretty sure, but back in the day she obviously wore the Birkin because it was designed for her. And she used it as a baby bag, like a diaper bag. And she used it like a tote bag. I would say she used it as someone would use a Neverfull now, as like a daily bag or like a nappy bag. Well, back then a Birkin would have been probably the price of a Neverfull now. So a Neverfull now is about 3,000 Australian dollars. And back then a Birkin, like in the early 90s, probably would have been that price as well. So it was a very expensive tote bag, but it was nowhere near the inflated price that it is now. So it's not as shocking back then that she actually used her bag, because back then, obviously, I'm going to assume back then people still collected handbags, but not to the degree that they do now, because I think because of all the marketing and like limited edition, and there's kind of become in the last like 20 years this tendency for people to see bags as more works of art and collect them like, anything like toys or whatever. So that whole collectability aspect back then wouldn't have been there, and so she would have just used her Birkin, whatever, like, doesn't matter. And people obviously still use their Birkins like that if they are old money or they were given the bag by their parent or whatever. And what I'm hearing is that the way to show that you're poor is if you don't use your Birkin, because it shows that you're, new money, or you're poor and you saved up to buy that Birkin. If you're really rich, you would just use your Birkin as a Birkin should be used. And I just think that attitude is very stupid, honestly, because Birkins are so much more expensive than they were back then. I mean, obviously inflation and everything, but everything is so, like, designer goods are so highly inflated compared to what they used to be, guys. It is ridiculous. Not only that, but Birkins are collectible. So, and people do collect them, and there are many rich people who have collections of Birkins and they just keep them there on the shelf, like Kylie Jenner or Jamie Chua. And that's what they enjoy doing. They like having a little gallery of Birkins. And should we judge people for not using their bag like that? Because all the comments on this video, guys, some of them are not judgmental, but some of them are like, bags being used as bags, oh, outrageous. And the owner doesn't look expensive when it's very well kept. It should be used like its origin. So if you keep your Birkin nice, it makes you look poor. Everyone who buys and collects bags these days buy to collect and then hold its value by not ruining them. That's most likely why you see so many collections of Birkins just sitting in perfect condition in people's closets, because down the line they probably hope to make a profit by selling it. They care more about money than the enjoyment of the bag. I get it. Because with Birkins, the price is so much, I can understand it being bought as a collectible. But you see people doing it with so many other brands too, and that's when it becomes kind of sad and dull in my eyes. Like, this is a very mean comment, honestly, guys. If you want to collect Louis Vuitton, if you want to collect Coach, or if you want to collect Target bags, like, why should you care? Why should it make you feel, why should people roll your eyes at people like that? Like, that in itself is a very silly comment, because I'm sure the person who wrote this comment does not own a Birkin, and if they did, they would not trash it. Like, come on. Or even if they had a Chanel bag, they probably wouldn't trash it, or Louis Vuitton. I'm sure this person probably doesn't even have a designer bag. And then someone else is like, I hate it when people buy designer bags and then are too afraid to use it. Like, this is how it was meant to be used. I get it, guys. Like, you should use a designer bags if that's what you want to do. But if that's not what you want to do, then that's also okay. Why are we placing judgment on people for just keeping their bags as they want them to be kept? Why should we judge people for not trashing their Birkin? Like, you could flip it the other way too and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone would trash their Birkin like that. Like, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like, sometimes I see the way people treat their Chanel bags and they look like absolute crap, and a trashed Chanel bag does not look as good as a trash, like, Hermes bag. I don't know, Hermes bags, when they're trashed, because they are designed to be more of those, like, I don't know, travel bags, like, a slouchy Birkin looks cool, but a slouchy jumbo, like, or like a very slouchy Gabrielle bag that's completely sunken in, like, to me that doesn't look good. But yeah, I guess I'm subconsciously judging people as well for mistreating their bags. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, like, stop judging people for how they use their bags. Like, it's their own bag. If they want to trash their Birkin, then yeah, go for it. But you shouldn't feel like you need to trash your Birkin or buy a trash Birkin to look old money or to look like you're rich, because that is just, that doesn't make any sense, for one thing. I don't think that people should have the idea that certain people should buy bags and certain people shouldn't because they're not rich enough, or only certain people deserve bags because they use them like they should, or, you know, it's just really unfair when people have that view of people. Everybody deserves to have a nice bag if that's what they want. Like, if you feel like you don't deserve to have a nice bag, I'm like, honestly, you do. Like, do not settle for less than the best, guys. Like, do not feel like you're not deserving of a Birkin because you're not rich enough, or, you know, you're not going to use it, and that, you know, oh, you feel so guilty because you don't use it. Don't feel bad, guys. Like, if you bought that Birkin because you like it and it's just sitting there, like, don't worry about it. You're like, you deserve it, okay? Don't beat yourself up for not using your bag because you feel like, oh, I just, you know, it's how bad of me to not use it. Like, honestly, this whole, like, judgment that people are putting out there of other people, it's just a reflection of themselves, and they probably are just, like, you know, bored, and people like to pick people apart for some reason. So yeah, anyways, I don't think you need to trash your Birkin, guys, but would I buy a trash Birkin? Yeah, for the right price I would, because I think it has a certain, like, edgy flair to it and a certain character. I think it does look cool, but I'm not going to go out and trash my Birkin. I'm sorry, guys. I will wear it, yes, throughout my whole life. I'm going to wear it, and it will get probably very worn at one point if I keep wearing it, but I'm not going to go and, you know, use it every day because I don't feel comfortable to do that right now. Maybe one day I will, but I don't think people should judge me for not trashing my Birkin. So yeah, anyways, thanks for listening to my blabby video as usual, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one, and let me know what you think as well. Okay, see ya!